Chapter 2. People. Pronunciation Practice.
People who pick peas weekly seem to need to appear deep in order to be distinguished from mere pea pickers. Peter, a champion pea picker, thought he'd be even neater if he were the deepest pea picker in Peoria, Phoenix, and New Zealand. On his peak pea picking week though, Peter, a pea picker's peel picker, realized that his was not deep. This is not easy for a pea picker to admit, and it pitched Peter into a pit of picking despair. He was pitiful for 3 weeks and then lifted himself to hitherto unrevealed personal peaks.
Reading 5. Kings and Queens of Rock. Everyone was playing rock music back in the 1950s. There were many well-known singers during that time, but as time goes by, the well-known can be forgotten. Few are still known today. The best-known singer of the 1950s was a man named Elvis Presley. He was so well-known that people called him the King of Rock, or just the King for short. In all the time after Presley's death in 1977, no other rock singer has been big enough to be called the King. Some other singers are also given names. In the 1980s, the biggest singer of the time was Michael Jackson, but because of Elvis Presley, people didn't want to call Jackson the King, so Michael Jackson was the Prince of Pop. Another well-known singer in the 1980s was Madonna. She was called the Queen of Pop. Now more than one woman has been called the Princess of Pop. It is interesting that no woman has ever been called the Queen of Rock. Maybe in a few years, a woman who is singing now will get that name. She will have to be a very good singer, and then she may be as good as the King.
Reading 6. Jane Austen. Jane Austen, 1775 to 1817, is one of the best-known British writers ever. Many of her books are about the loves and lives of upper-class people in the 1800s. Her best-known book was written when Austen was 35 years old. Many people still read her books today, more than 20 million in the last 200 years. Austen started writing short stories when she was only 12 years old. At first, she did not write long books like the ones she is now known for. At that time, she wrote short stories about people in England. Her family liked reading and talking about books. Austen also liked to be in plays and stories with her family. Doing things together with her book-loving family helped Austen to become a better writer. Jane Austen's books are mostly about love and finding the right person to marry. It is interesting, then, that she never married. She once said yes to a man who wanted to marry her, but then the next day she said no to him. No one knows why Jane Austen changed her yes to a no. Maybe she really wanted to find the right person, like the people in her books.
Reading 7. Maya Lin. In 1981, the city of Washington, D.C. was looking for a way to remember all the Americans who died in the Vietnam War. Soon they had more than 1,000 ideas from around the United States. 8 people carefully looked at these ideas and found the best one. It was an idea from a 21-year-old student named Maya Lin. Before that time, the usual way to remember people in the United States was to make a beautiful piece of art or a garden. That's what most people wanted this time, too. Lin's idea was very different. She wanted to make a long black wall like a V. On the wall would be written the names of all the Americans who died in the war. It was a very good idea, but would it be beautiful? After the wall was built, millions of people came to see its beauty. Today, it is one of the most loved places in the city, and many people still come to see it. After finishing school, Lin went to work and made many other interesting works of art. Today, she tries to make people think about the world and how to keep it safe.
Reading 8. Mo Farah. Mo Farah is a runner, and he is one of the best runners ever. Farah won the 5,000 meters and the 10,000 meters at the Olympics in 2012 and 2016. He also won both of them at another world event in 2013 and 2015. He was the first person to do this. Farah is British, but he was not born in the UK. He was born in Somalia and moved there when he was 8 years old. He could not speak English, so life was hard, but quickly he started to like life in the UK. Everyone in the UK calls him Mo, but his full name is really Muhammad. He is a Muslim and always prays before and after he runs. As soon as he stops running, he gets down and prays. Farah believes that this has helped him to become a winner. Farah is very happy when he wins. He is well known for his big smile, but all winners usually smile. Farah is different because when he wins, he does his Mobot move. The move is part Mo and part robot and shows how happy he is about winning. People are happy to see this too.